Hello, everyone. And it's Sunday. We want to wish you all the mothers a very happy Mother's Day. And today, what we're going to be doing is we'll do a French white. We're going to try. Okay, it's La Paradou. Okay, it's a Viognier, and this wine sells for this is a very inexpensive $10 or $11 bottle of wine. You know, you might see 13, but you can get it for around $12, 10, 11, 12. Okay, it's an excellent wine. It's a young wine. Okay, it's made in southeast and the north of Rhone Valley. Okay, the family is the Chenet family. Okay, and the Chenet, they've been in the wine business probably over 100 years, and very successful. And one of the top producers of they've had a dozen wines that have been 90 plus or better over the years. Okay. Now, Paul Chenet has two sons, Alex and Frederick. And what they did was, you know, they went to school and then they graduated with excellent degrees in top schools, you know, in France and Europe. And they studied, you know, agriculture, but they also studied business and then went into wines. And they decided in '05, in their 30s, that they wanted to break away from and try to produce a young, youthful wine without all the AO's regulations that they have in France. You know, France, we've always talked about the regulation in France. You have to use this much grape, you can't do that. You have to macerate this, have to lay it in oak, have to do this. They wanted to, you know, when you're 30, that's what you want to do. You always want to try to be, that's what youth does, right? Creates. So they came and they created this wine, and it grows. They have a very large vineyard, and they have other vineyards, and you know they produce 2 or 3 different vineyards. Now this wine they did, it's a very the Viognier grape is when you're dealing with that grape, okay, it's a very fragile grape with high heat, okay, but they're right in the foothills of the Alps, okay. Matter of fact, the Ventoux Mountain is their backyard, okay, and that's famous for it's like 2,000 foot elevation. It's famous for cyclists. It's in the Tour de France. It's one of the big runs in the Tour de France. Okay, now this wine, the fermentation, what they do on this, they do strictly stainless. Okay, they get away from the oak. They use concrete vats and stainless steel vats. Okay, they pick the grapes, 12 to 15 days fermentation. They pick them early. The soils here are excellent for it. Okay. The soils here are the clay and sandstone, which we all, you know, what you want for the grape. You pick the grape early, okay, because you have that, you want the acidity in it, okay? It has excellent acidity. Now, the characteristics of of a Viognier grape, because of the area, the yields can be low, okay? The yields are low because of the grape and the short time, okay? But we'll give this a shot and see how she is, you know. And this is a twist off. See, this wine, this is a drink between now and 23, 24. And that's how they produced the wine for $12, okay? And they wanted to get away, you know, they produce a lot of wines that are 70, 80, 60s, 40s, but they wanted to produce this under the two sons' names. They branched out. They also make a Grenache that's getting big reviews. Okay, this wine rates an 89. A little light in color, see? Now, if it gets too hot, the color gets darker. Okay, but that you don't want, because when it gets darker in this wine, it's not like an oak age, and when it gets dark, the wine gets a little, it's a little harder. You know, it loses some of its colors. And this is an excellent place for, it has all the, I love Viognier grapes, it's like excellent. This is the grape Pine Ridge used with the Chenin Blanc, okay? That drank excellent. And they also make one of these in Australia that's excellent, okay? Lumber makes I've been trying to get it, I can't get a hold of it. Very interesting. Very clean, crisp. You know, people will drink this wine with even, you'll see people try Thai food with it, spicy foods with it, because it's got enough acidity. It's a refreshing wine, okay? You do crab with this, fish with this, grilled chicken, grilled fish. Do lobster, root vegetables. It's almost got like a buttery to it. Not a buttery, but it's a nice rounding. It's a very delicious wine. It's definitely dry. You know, I wouldn't say it's dry to the bone, but it's close. This is a dry wine. Okay, this is a dry wine with. You know what it does? Just hits right to the back of the palate. This goes right to the back. Very tasteful. It's not just, this is a very nice wine. Very nice wine. This is a no-brainer. 10, 11. If you can get it, for $11. Now some of these wines I get, I've had, you know, you go back to get a case and the guy says, no, you don't have it anymore. So when you look them up, like this is a 2018. Okay, it's a 2018. It really is. You know, I'd give this for value and for wine, texture, structure. It's a fairly big wine without being overpowering. It comes right to the back palate. Clean, refreshing taste. It's got the acidity. It's white apple. You know, it's apple peach. It's all white fruit. Nice but clean. Not sweet, dry. Excellent. Excellent. See, this is the lighter wine too. If you went, they don't do oak. Now, if you did oak would be more expensive to sell. It gets darker, you know, and this is like a non-oak. So this is a great wine, you know. So to the boys, I guess they did a good job. Their mother's active in the vineyard too, with the father, Paul. So, you know, I think he wanted to be a doctor. And he said, no. We'll work on the wine. Okay, listen, have a great Mother's Day. Everybody have an excellent day. You know, next year, Mother's Day, everybody can be hugging and over for dinner and everything else. But, you know, we're getting through this. And for all those people, especially people working today on Mother's Day, the nurses, you know, any mother who's working today, you know, instead of putting their feet up, we love you and our hats are off to you, okay? Thank God. All the best. And see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.